Ladies and gentlemen, the Raiders continue to rise, and quarterback Aidan O'Connell may be more special than we thought. We're going to show you an insane stat that I cannot even believe exists. Plus, Raiders GM Dave Ziegler is getting called out by fans about Josh Jacobsc to his face. This is absolutely hilarious.
Come on, give me at least 11 to 12 million.
And we're going to break down the defense and some stats, who balled out in this preseason game and whose stock is falling. Let's get right into it. And I had to rock my number 4 jersey today. Yes, this is a DC 4 jersey, but the AC 4 jersey is in the mail on the way. You know? Okay. And Rich Gannon had a lot to say about this rookie QB who really shocked the world this week.
Smart, productive, durable, tough, consistent. He's got great anticipation and accuracy.
And that's the main thing about AC4. He just seemed cool, collected. He seemed competent. It did not look like it was his first rodeo at all whatsoever. And people have dug deeper into this and analyzed this at a higher level. And I want to tell you guys something. There are some amazing stats out there that will absolutely shock you about Aidan O'Connell. And I want to say right here, right now, I believe this is for real. But the rest of the team looked great all in all. Obviously, the Raiders held the Niners to only 7 points, and some key takeaways from Levi Edwards, who works for the Raiders team media, is the fact that Jacorian Bennett looked nice, and so did linebacker Amari Burney, the former Florida Gator. I'm going to be interested to see more of this guy in this upcoming game against the LA Rams. And obviously, Aidan O'Connell looked nice, and so did the interior pass rush. In terms of total pressures during the game, Jordan Willis, the former San Francisco 49er, who seems to be backing up Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, he led the team in pressures with 4, and then he had Malcolm Kuntz right behind him along with Adam Butler. And some of these corners looked nice. Duke Shelley was targeted 2 times, only gave up 6 yards, and also Jacorian Bennett was targeted 2 times, only gave up 1 catch and 17 yards. Sam Webb did not give up 1 reception, was targeted twice. And then you got Amari Burney, the former Florida Gator we talked about earlier, the linebacker, the rookie. This dude is a safety who converted to linebacker, very athletic guy, and he did well in coverage, targeted 3 times and only gave up 1 reception. And we know the run game matters too, and you had undrafted free agent Drake Thomas have the highest run defensive grade for the Raiders. And this is absolutely hilarious. You have fans asking GM Dave Ziegler to sign Josh Jacobsc right now, and he said something interesting here. I love this guy the most. Shaking his head the whole time.
Going to playoffs, did he make time? Come on, give me at least 11 to 12 million.
Oh, then that was interesting. See, I love this guy. I want this guy to be there in the presser room. He seems like he's going to get us some actual information. So the fans said give Josh Jacobs at least $11 or $12 million, and Dave Ziegler, the GM, said he doesn't have a problem with that.
Oh, okay, give me the again. Hey, put some incentives in there. Here come.
He said, hey, put some incentives there. He'll come. And look at Ziegler. You can kind of hear him a little bit. It's a little quiet. And he says, we'll get it done. So this is kind of cool because it shows that Dave Ziegler is confident that Josh Jacobs will come back. Perhaps Jacobs just wants to not risk injury by not participating in training camp. And perhaps he will be a little happier to join the Raiders now that they have some hype around some key players, especially quarterback. Some unfortunate news is that Dylan Parham, the guard, did get injured during the game. He had a concussion. There was no update from Josh McDaniels on Parham's status. Hopefully this guy could bounce back. And now let's talk about Aidan O'Connell, the 4th round pick in 2023, the man who may be the best rookie quarterback in the 2023 draft class. Not only did he have an absolutely insane game this past week against the Niners, and yes, there's a lot of backups in there, but it's still the Niners who have great depth. And there is an insane stat here, and it has to do with Mr. Patrick Mahomes and Aidan O'Connell. Now, O'Connell had a 92.3 PFF grade, an overall grade extremely high. So we dug a little bit deeper to see who's had a grade this high. Which rookie quarterback has had a grade this high when playing at least 16 snaps? Somebody who actually played a decent amount of time like O'Connell did. This dude played 3 full quarters. It's not like he was just in there for 1 quarter. So we're looking at PFF grades, notable preseason performances over the past decade, and we have quarterback here. Patrick Mahomes in 2017 2013, when he was a rookie, when he was an unknown guy, when he was just like Aidan O'Connell, except selected in the first round, unlike Aidan O'Connell selected in the fourth round, well, Patrick Mahomes had a 91.8 preseason grade as a rookie, and that is actually one of the best PFF grades for a rookie quarterback in preseason. So Mahomes is 91.8, Aidan O'Connell is 92.3, and this is since 2013. It was the second best by any rookie in that stretch. Mac Jones did top this grade in 2021, but Mac Jones was only a 92.2 PFF grade. AC4 O'Connell topped him by a hair, 92.3, which means that Aidan O'Connell is the highest graded rookie quarterback in preseason all the way back to 2013. AC4 is literally the best in a decade. We talked about this yesterday. Everybody's hyping up Aidan O'Connell. You have Ian Rappaport calling him the next Tom Brady, and I'm looking at this guy's numbers, the best in the past decade for a rookie QB in preseason. How the hell can we not consider the fact that this dude may start for the Raiders this season? I'm not talking later down the road, oh, if Jimmy G gets hurt. I'm talking week 1. Does this guy give the Raiders the best chance to win in the immediate? He had an amazing deep ball, something that we know Jimmy G struggles with, and it looked really good. It's just that Trey Tucker dropped it. And when you think about what's happened this past offseason, Jimmy G had surgery, wasn't able to help out at mandatory minicamp. He's had some predetermined days off. He did not get to throw during OTAs. Who was doing all those throws back then? Who was getting some chemistry built with Devontae Adams? Well, it was Brian Hoyer and also Aidan O'Connell. Aidan O'Connell was having a lot of snaps during practice, and it seems like the guy really took advantage of the fact that Jimmy G had some off days. So I think the Raiders really need to take a close look at this guy and take a close look at Jimmy G and really think about what they want to be long term. And if this guy is going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL, which it looks like he definitely is, Raiders need to just get this guy going so he could develop now, and then the Raiders can have a steel gem of a quarterback from the fourth round. And this really pumps me up. Aidan O'Connell was a fourth round pick, meaning his contract is locked in for the next 4 years all the way to 2026. And I'm sorry, he's kind of expensive for a QB. $877,000 this year, $1 million next, and the $1 million after that. This is like finding freaking diamonds at the flea market for $1. And what pumps me up about this is when he got that cash, he could pay for some playmakers, pay for some good defensive players. Hey, maybe even pay Josh Jacobsc. And I'm not even talking about Jimmy G getting injured here, man. I'm just talking about a freaking QB competition between Aidan O'Connell and Jimmy G. And I'm going to say something pretty crazy here and give a really interesting idea. Just hear me out. I know it's a little loony though. But I'm looking at the Niners here, struggling with Trey Lance. Sam Darnold does not look special. Brock Purdy was throwing tons of picks against the Raiders in a scrimmage. I don't think the Niners have a great QB situation right now. I think they have a horrible QB situation right now. And you saw Kyle Shanahan, the Niners head coach, trying to love on Jimmy G and say he's been the best QB there for the past 20 years, better than Jeff Garcia, better than Colin Kaepernick. And it seems like McDaniels and Kyle Shanahan are good friends. I mean, they had joint practices together. They're always really nice with each other. And if you're the Raiders and it feels like Aidan O'Connell gives you the same ability to win as Jimmy G, and the Raiders recently took away Jimmy G's roster bonus, he's pretty much getting week-to-week game checks. If Aidan O'Connell becomes the starter, if he wins the job the next few weeks, would it be absolutely crazy to see the Raiders trade Jimmy G back to the 49ers? I know that sounds insane. I know that sounds hilarious, but if Aidan O'Connell ends up becoming the starter, I could definitely see this crap happening. We've seen crazier things in the NFL. And that will actually be pretty nice for the Raiders, considering the fact that between Derek Carr and Darren Waller, Raiders only got a third round pick. So maybe they can get some serious draft capital for next year. Either way, man, I am so stoked and I cannot wait till this next preseason game against the Rams. We will be live doing play-by-play and reaction. You know I want to see Aidan O'Connell. This guy is the star of the show. I want to see how he does. And who knows if Jimmy G is going to get involved in the mix in preseason. We know when players play in the scrimmage, they typically don't play in the preseason. So I'm going to be very interested to see how Josh McDaniels decides to go about this. I was skeptical of Josh McDaniels for so long, but I'm getting a little bit more belief here. Let me know how you feel about everything in the comments below. And make sure you check us out when we are live during that preseason game this week, and we'll keep you up to date with everything happening with the Raiders. My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.